genre.
Welcome to the Doctor's Companion. I'm Scott Corelli.
I'm Cass Fredrickson.
And I'm Nick Jimenez.
Today on the show, we start talking about Series 2 with the first episode of Series 2. Series 2? Season 2? Season 2? Series
Season
15?
2.
Whatever. The Robot
15.
Revolution.
Jesus Christ, really?
This is why you don't renumber things, you know?
Mhm.
Like, it just starts getting confusing. I understand, like, after there was like a, what was that, a 16-year break? That I understand, but I don't know. We shouldn't have renumbered here, but whatever.
But it would be 15. Like, this is the 15th season.
This is the 15th
Rose.
season of New Who, yeah.
Wow. I
Wow.
kind of get why you, I don't know. That sounds insane. I'm just picturing, like, I was watching, the promotional tour that, like, they've been going on.
Mhm.
And like Varanathu and Intrigawa. And then I'm picturing the BBC guy being like, season 15 of Doctor Who, Saturday night at 12 on BBC. You know, I was like, God, I could imagine some people being like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, so we got, we're starting off with the Robot Revolution, written by Russell T Davies, directed by Peter Hoare, who previously directed A Good Man Goes to War.
Oh.
As well as he was the director on It's a Sin, the Russell T Davies series about the AIDS epidemic in the 80s in England. It's fucking great. But it'll make you cry.
Yeah.
Make
that
you
sounds
weep
like...
openly, but it's like a masterpiece. It's so good. So good director on this one. So that's something. Robot Revolution, Planet of the Incels.
I think Belinda even says that at some point, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
right. So I guess comparatively to Space Babies, this appears to be a much more popular season premiere amongst the general populace. So what did you guys think of this one? Cass, we'll start with you.
I enjoyed this one. This was it felt like a romp, really. I really like Belinda.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a very silly episode, kind of discussing like not really silly things, but it like made it work. I had fun while I was watching. I really liked the classic Who, like, I just want to go home, like, take me back, please, kind of
Mhm.
angle that we're doing with Belinda. And the ending felt like very Moffat-y. Which I was kind of surprised by. It kind of reminds me about the whole like the date in April in series 5.
Sure. Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, like we're like locked out of this date, or this date is like important for some reason, and then like the scale back after the TARDIS leaves and then like all of that stuff floating in space. I'm like, oh, this feels like a Moffat episode for some reason, but like not in a bad way. I don't know. It was interesting.
Which is interesting because the first time we saw Virata Sethu was in Boom.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Very true.
But yeah, I had
Nick-
fun with this one.
Nick, what were your thoughts?
Well, it was no space babies. I will say that. Yeah, this was all right. It was,
Yeah.
it's okay. Learning that this, Peter Hoare also directed Good Man Goes to War. I remember that, as flawed as it was, I remember that being a big bombastic blockbuster Doctor Who episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this felt similar where it really, I liked the production design. I liked the look of everything. It was very cool. I just found it narratively pretty run of the mill. And, I think Virata Sethu is a very talented actress. I have mixed feelings about Belinda Chandra as a character. This wasn't quite the like love at first sight that sometimes you want out of a companion introduction episode. But in the most complimentary way possible, because I did not hate this. I can't preface that enough. I did not dislike this episode. It would be really cool if in 8 weeks we look back and say this was the worst episode of the series.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm hoping for.
You know what I mean? Like I was like,
I
really hope there isn't an episode that I feel more lukewarm about than this one.
Right.
I agree with all of that. I will yes and by saying this. Russell, if you're listening, and we know that you are.
I am. It's true. Yes.
I just want you to know that when you follow up a blonde companion with a person of color medical professional,
if I had a nickel,
and a sandwiched around a Christmas special starring a companion that everyone wants to return as the companion on the other side of this one.
Oof.
That's crazy.
My guy, we know what you're doing. We know what you're doing. We see right through it. Knock it off.
Thought we wouldn't notice.
You thought we wouldn't notice, but we did. We noticed.
Time is a flat circle.
Son of a bitch.
Wow. Well done,
Yeah.
Scott.
Just saying. That stuck out. That as soon as I saw that she was like a nurse and he was like walking around a hospital, I was like, wait a minute.
Wait a goddamn minute.
There's something pretty familiar about all this. Yeah. So there's that. But regardless, like the episode is fine. I was having trouble narrowing down what her age was because 17 years is a very long time. And so I was like, wait, so how old was she in the cold open when he was like proposing to her?
Oh, that's because I was getting like teenager vibes from like their costumes, their wardrobe, but then the proposal thing kind of threw a loop. And for what it's worth, having just looked it up, Virata Sethu is 32 time of recording. So like roughly our age, thereabouts. So
she
millennial.
could be like, well, yeah, she would have to have been like 15.
17 years ago.
But even if they're like 17 or 18, like 17 years later is like mid 30s. And like, I don't think that is that outlandish.
I guess so.
And he was an incel.
Yeah. I guess it's interesting. What throws me is that like, I am not used to seeing people in their 30s portrayed as having roommates in things. Like, even though that is reality.
I was going to say that felt really real.
I know. But when do you ever see that in a fucking anything? Like if they're under 25, if they're over 25 and have roommates, they're a fucking loser. Like in most stuff, and like in most movies and TV shows. So it's like it was weird. I was like, that's why I was like, I can't get a handle on how old she's supposed to be. Because if movie and TV shows have taught me anything, it's that if you have roommates, you're in your early 20s.
That's actually a really interesting point, and like maybe like that has now caught up with like where we're at right now, like the popular like like young people just have roommates because they can't afford anything.
Right. Yeah, I just thought that was interesting, but I wish they would have like I guess put a finer point on like exactly how old she was. Because it was like throwing me.
Like if there was a joke at one point of 15's like, you're 32, you've got roommates, and she's like, yeah, welcome to the fucking economy, dude. Like it's the it's 2025,
yes, totally.
You know?
Or one of the robots said that.
You're a loser. Yeah.
Our queen has roommates.
Yeah. My rent's 3,000 quid a month or whatever.
Yeah. I'm a nurse. I make minimum wage. So so there the other thing that I will say is that like I don't know that a gay writer and a gay director were the people that should be writing what this story is about, because it felt right from the get-go, the cold open was just so like a camp version of a straight relationship. That it was really distracting because I was like, that's not this. No, come on.
I actually, I thought it was charming.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. No, like the young people say, like the tism riz, like no, like that.
Yeah.
I thought it was charming, and so like when the reveal is just like, no, he's a dick and he's a controlling asshole. I'm like, oh no, like I don't know, it landed for me.
That's so funny.
Yeah, and we'll get to it, but I have mixed feelings about the storytelling of like that it was all kind of it was like the community. Oh my god, Joshua was racist. Like,
like it's exactly that. Yeah. Wow. Oh
like,
man.
But yeah, no. So we open with Belinda and Al sitting on a bench, and he's like, I bought you a star.
Also, okay, so this thing
please,
is so
yeah.
funny because like this is such a fucking scam. Like
Yes.
these like this is a scam. Like these websites that do this, like I'm sorry, the star isn't named after you. It's still a fucking number over at NASA. They're not looking at your name on a star chart or anything. And anyone from that galaxy or whatever the fuck where that star is has no idea about anything involved with this. So it's just like it's cute to me that Russell T Davies is like, remember those star things that straight people were always giving each other? Like we should do an episode about that. Like that's the part of it that I just think is like a camp version of straight people. That's the part that's like making me like laugh about it, because it's just those websites were such a fucking scam.
I think I was just so charmed at the like it's like almost like the Jupiter ascending angle of like
Yes.
like you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like working class, like this person, and then she's just like a queen on another planet randomly. Like, I don't know. I liked that.
It was Jupiter ascending vibes. That's true.
Uh-huh.
I was just thinking another version, because another thing you can do is like, that thing where you can plant a tree in a forest and like in honor of someone, and it's like, oh, you can like check in on this tree. And then I was following that train of thought, and I was like, oh, so I guess like the fantasy version would be like a bunch of elves, like little elves or gnomes, being like, we're the Belinda, it's our queen. You're named after our tree. Belinda.
We make cookies in there.
Yeah, take one. What do you
sell
think?
them in grocery stores everywhere,
Yeah,
nationwide. It's a global scale. We're slaves because of you, queen.
Yes, queen.
Yeah.
um,
So anyway,
interesting that she kept it framed, even though she like barely remembered that guy's name.
I know. That was very. See, that was the thing that I was like, what? No one actually keeps those on their wall. Like, get out of here.
Do you? Question for both of you, because like when her, Belinda's like, no, Al, this is great. This is the nicest thing anyone's ever given to me. It was. I was like, wow, like that's sad if that's true. But could that be part of her character? Because she does frame it and keep it on her wall. So it's like, oh, was that the nicest thing anyone's ever done for her? Even if it was just kind of this kind of dorky guy that she was on a couple of dates with,
Yeah. Who proposed marriage and wanted
seemingly
to
that
control her
night
for the rest of her life. Yeah, like it's very strange that she was like, no, I'm not going to marry you. You're a controlling freakazoid. But I am going to keep this thing that you gave me, and I'm going to frame it and put it on my wall, and keep it there forever. 17 years later, it'll still be there. One of my prized possessions.
I'm wondering if that is supposed to be part of her arc too, because like the way that scene plays out, where the doctor's like, "Why did you end things with him or whatever?" It read to me more like she was realizing it, like with hindsight, instead of like reacting to it in the. Like, you know what I mean? Like, especially if she was like 17, where it's like she doesn't know any better. And it's just like, oh no, like this is like I'm reacting to the proposal because it's way too soon, not because you're a dick, you know?
Yeah, no, because that resonates with me. I knew a lot of like people that sort of have like relationships similar to this in their history of like, I don't know how to verbalize why I don't feel safe or like this is the person, but I might even walk away thinking that I was the problem for years and years. No pun intended. But and then later being like, oh wait, no, that was a toxic person. That was good job past me. But it was unclear, I think, in the episode, or it was flawed in the episode.
Yeah. So she's a nurse now. She has roommates. They don't know her name. She lies to her roommates. They're like, "Don't eat my granola," and she's like, "I'm not," and she's got it in her hand, ready to go eat it. Yeah. Which I was like, okay, all right. I see your vibe, Belinda. All right, fair enough. He didn't get your name right, so go ahead, eat his granola bar. And then the robots show up in the middle of the night in a rocket ship.
Yeah,
which is cool. I like the rocket ship. I think that's fun. It looks like something. It looks like the claw machine where you get the little alien guys in Toy Story.
Yeah, that's exactly like the Pizza Planet rocket, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like it looks like a toy, and I liked that it looked like a toy, and I liked that all the robots kind of looked like toys.
I thought something would happen with that, and then nothing did.
I watched the Doctor Who Unleashed episode about this. That's on YouTube. It's about 20, like half an hour, and RTD said that he was, I guess, from the writing standpoint, he was charmed by how polite the robots were coming out, and that bled into like, oh, well, it'd be kind of cool if they were like 50s themed, if they kind of had like a 50s like Forbidden Planet, This Island Earth vibe. And then that just kind of became the North Star of like, oh, and they would have big ray guns, and oh, their rocket would be like a rocket. And he was like, I didn't want it to be like super sleek, sexy. He was like, I kind of followed that trail of everything being kind of clunky and charming in like 50s.
That's interesting. Let's see. So they kill Kat. They tell her that she's a queen on their world because they like go up to her room and take her certificate, and they're like, "See, this is you.
You're Belinda Chandra. The planet is called Belinda Chandra.
Miss Belinda Chandra.
Miss Belinda Chandra. Because that's a joke of the at the beginning. She's like, "Why is it Miss?" Like, well, it's not Mrs. You're not married, are you? And she's like, "No,
you're not married, are you?"
That was so brutal and fun. I cackled. Unfortunately, I'm ashamed to say of like when Belinda was like, "What happens if I don't?" And the robot kind of like scans around and just like shoots a cat off screen, like, meow! And then you just see like the skeleton of a cat.
I'm just glad that we didn't get to know the cat ahead of time.
Right? Yeah.
That's good. So yeah. She goes outside.
Mm-hmm.
Mrs. Flood is her neighbor. And she's like,
woman.
"What's going on over here?" And she's like, "These robots are taking me. Please tell the other neighbor that her cat went to a farm or something. I gotta go." And she's like, "Okay then." And then the doctor shows up, and then she hears him, turns to the camera and says, "You didn't see me." And then
You cunts better not say a word about me. I'll fucking kill you.
cut your throat.
Gee, all right.
and then runs inside to hide from the doctor. And I hope every episode is that now. Like, it's just like Mrs. Flood just being like, "Don't you say a fucking thing."
Do we think that Mrs. Flood is going to be resolved in this season, or is this going to be like a multi-season,
Like
like
end of 15
mystery?
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. It depends on who she is, because based on the end of like what the last few episode titles are, which, you know, just to run through them, we got Lux next week, The Well after that, then Lucky Day, The Story and the Engine, The Interstellar Song Contest, Wish World, and The Reality War.
Oh yeah.
It just makes me think, you know, she is somewhere in the realm of what we've theorized her being,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of like the god of story or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Maybe there's another god that, you know, and I don't know. We're just assuming that the big bad of this season is gonna be a god.
Right.
You know, I guess it could not be, theoretically.
She didn't. Mrs. Flood did not appear in Joy to the World, correct? We last saw her in Empire of Death wearing her Ice Queen costume.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I think that's right. Yeah. The sort of like low key Romana outfit
Mm-hmm.
that she was wearing. Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, speaking of costumes evoking other classic characters, I found the Doctor's kilt in this cold open to be very Jamie coded.
Sure.
Mm. Oh yeah, no, I love because this is the second time he's worn a kilt on screen, and I just love that he's like visibly like in a kilt. I don't know. There's something
I
about that.
I love the denim kilt with because he's got like a denim top that he wears with it also. But then he also has like a jacket that's like what do you call that?
It's like a vest,
plaid, I guess. Plaid.
Mm-hmm.
The red plaid jacket. That looks like it's like the typical design you would see on a kilt. I don't know. Like, I just like the combination of like that design on a jacket over the denim kilt. It was a good look. So yeah, I don't know. Probably not the last time we'll see Mrs. Flood this season. I don't know if she'll be if she'll be if she'll end up wrapping up at the end of this season, but we'll see.
So the Doctor has yet to interact with Mrs. Flood. Like, she's only talked to us and like side characters like Millie Gibson or
yeah, and she knows what a TARDIS is, and she knows who the Doctor is, and we're all just left being like, what? So yeah, so then she's on her way to her planet, I guess, and she's like telling them like, you know, like, this was a gift, like, I didn't even do this myself, like, you should be talking to the guy who gave it to me instead, and says his name, Alan, whatever it is, and it's like, yeah, you should go talk to that guy, because like, whatever, Alan Budd, I guess is his name. Weird.
Yeah.
Yikes, that's a bad name. Alan Budd. Al Bud. So
There's a bit of time skippy thing during her rocket ride.
Right. It was like a weird time dilation thing, and the doctor's trying to go after her, but then there's like a weird thing with him where it's like kind of like repeating shit, and he's like, what was that?
She's into the time slip.
And then when she shows up, the doctor's already been there for 6 months, and he's like part of the human like group. There's like a robot. There's been a robot revolution on the planet. Now the robots run the show, and they're like hunting down rebellious natives and killing them. And she is led into this like area where she has to like sit on the throne, and then
we meet Sasha 55.
We meet Sasha 55, who is the reason for the doctor's single tear in this episode. The streak is alive and well.
That's true.
The streak is alive and well. Yeah. So I can't wait for his era to be over and somebody does like a super cut of all the times he cries.
All the times he cried?
Yeah.
The cry cut.
It's gonna happen.
Yes.
What did you think of I'm assuming everyone listening to this has watched the episode, but so the doctor is posing as the historian, and the robots are like, now the historian will come out and talk to you. I love the robots in this. I thought they were I love how polite and loud and like clunky they were.
They reminded me of the robot in what was that episode? The one with the suitcase in what is it? Like the first part of Trial of a Time Lord, where he's got the suit, the big robot, and he's like packs his little robot suitcase.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah. Mysterious Planet.
Yeah. Reminds me of that guy.
Also kind of the one that had Nardle's head inside of it.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
Also that one.
So the doctor, no, for sure, no, we can't. No. So the doctor is like, I'm the historian, and like she's talking, but every ninth word, he is like leaving a little message that Belinda is slowly kind of parsing out and decoding, and it's like they don't hear every ninth word. And at first, I was like, that is stupid as hell, Russell. But by the end, I did like the explanation for it, or at least appreciated that there was an explanation for it. But Cass, what did you think?
Honestly, I didn't understand the explanation for it, so like I don't know. I don't know if it actually worked, but I like it in theory.
What was the explanation for it?
I don't know.
So there's like when they meet Al and they find out that Al is the AI generator. It's like he's on a loop, and every 9 seconds there's like a beat where he's not under the control of whatever cybernetic thing is taking hold of him. Yeah. And so it's kind of like, I kind of imagine like a security camera. Every 9 seconds there's like a beat where it's just offline for like a second, and then it goes back online.
Oh, so it's like a static thing or whatever, like it just interrupts the thing.
I think so. And it's like every 9 seconds
okay.
there's like a beat where he's like, what the fuck? And then like he's back.
Weird. Okay. Interesting.
Okay.
I like it I liked it in that moment specifically because I think it was a really cool like way for this character to get to know the doctor. Like an introduction to the doctor where he's like literally talking between the lines. I don't know, like I liked it like thematically.
My question about this is like the robot generator design. It reminded me of something and I couldn't figure it out. Like the fact that it was like two different colored eyes and one of them was like lower than the other one, which like gave him like this weird expression. And I was like, where have I seen this before? It just looked very familiar and I couldn't quite put my finger on it. I don't know if you guys picked up on that at all.
No, I don't think so.
It kind of reminded me of the wizard design in Wicked.
Oh.
The way that head kind of looked.
Yeah, that's actually true. like
Jeff
the
Goldblum.
robot thing. Yeah, I could see that. I don't think that's the one that I'm thinking of. I don't know what it was. It reminded me of something. It was driving me nuts though, and I was like, I don't even know how to Google this. Like,
Right.
I can't figure out. It reminded me of like Reboot or something. Remember Reboot?
Like
That
Megabyte.
show? Megabyte? Yeah. Just reminded me of like something that would have belonged in that show. I don't know.
Oh, Cass, did you not watch
Um,
Reboot?
No, I don't think so.
No. It was a Toonami show.
Oh, yeah.
Inside of a video game.
Inside of a computer.
Ah.
That's right.
The games were those were like the
CD-ROMs.
game of the week.
This weird kid just bought a new game every week, I guess.
Right. He's playing a new game. Why does he only play these games once?
This horrible kid.
So then they start a revolution against these like robots, and a bunch of them die, including Sasha 55, and the doctor cries a single tear. And then they're like at their base of operations, and she's like, oh yeah, okay, this is like a hospital barracks. All right, I know my way around. Let me help. And then like starts trying to help, and we get like what I think is like probably my favorite scene in the episode, which is like her learning about like the biology of like these people from this planet named after her, and also the biology of the doctor, and just being like, wow, cool, because she's like a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I like this, like the X-ray blankets and all of that. I thought all of that was really good. I liked all of that. I wish there had been time for more of it, to be honest.
I appreciated the Padam reference.
That was good.
Kylie Minogue, Doctor Who alumni, Kylie Minogue.
Let's see. So then, what happens after that?
What did we think of Muscles McGee, Captain Tank Top?
Captain Tank Top.
he looked very familiar to me. I looked him up after, and I was like, no, never seen any of the things that he's in. Maybe he just looks like a guy. Oh my God. Worth noting, I guess, that the voice of the robots was fucking Nicholas Briggs again.
Of course. Of course.
Of course it was.
Even Polish?
Yeah. I think
Bless.
so. Yeah. Oh, I forgot about Polish.
Yeah.
Oh,
they called him Scoot in the BTS. And I was like, what? No, he's Polish. Like,
yeah. He didn't name him.
He's like a Pokemon.
He's a Pokemon. Yeah, that's good. He's a Pokemon vacuum.
Captain, what was it?
Captain Tank Top. Manny Muscles.
Manny Muscles. Kind of pecs coated a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, but he's no pecs.
He's no pecs.
He's not a himbo, unfortunately.
A very attractive man, though. Like, he came on screen and I was like, oh, he's hot. Like, out loud, and Norman started laughing.
No, he's got arms, He's
He certainly does.
Kind of surprised. I mean, he was kind of, I guess his arc was like, this is all your fault, Queen Belinda. You dumbass. Yeah. Flop.
Yeah, I didn't like any of that, because I was just like, how many times do they have to explain that like she has no idea what the fuck is going on?
Right.
Your Majesty, what are you used to doing everything you want, Your Majesty? She's like, I have 2 roommates, dude. Like,
yeah. Like, I don't want to have anything to do with this. I didn't ask for any of this. Yeah. He's like trying to like put her in her place in like a Han Solo. To like let Princess Leia kind of way. I'm just like, oh, Your Majesty. She's like, this isn't happening, dude.
We're not doing this.
We're not doing this.
And that's kind of Belinda's vibe so far, is this isn't happening, we're not doing this, which will kind of, we'll get into how that's working for all 3 of us at that episode's end. But so yeah, the doctor's been there for 6 months. Sasha 55 was kind of like his friend, his companion,
His
for those-
Anita
his
in
Anita.
this one.
Whoa, that's great. That's cool. Like, is this just kind of something he does now?
Yeah.
Of like, since
Mhm.
Anita, he was like, I liked that. I'm going to start doing that just whenever I'm somewhere for a while.
Yeah, I'm just going to become really good friends with one person. But only one.
Relatable.
So yeah. Yeah, so like basically they're like wanting her to get married to the AI robot generator guy, and she's like, I'm not gonna marry a robot, and they're like, you are, because it's gonna be a union. And then they like show her what they mean by union, which is like a union of the humans and the robots, and they're basically gonna like Cyberman her. And that was the part of it that I was like, so like the Cybermen, like we have that already. Like, why is this just the same thing? I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like at that point, just do the Cybermen. Like we you guys already have this. Why are we doing just another version of a thing we've seen before? God, if the Cybermen came back and they were like big chunky robot guys like this, now we're talking.
They might finally be good.
That would be good. Be like our favorite version of the Cybermen. Everyone else would hate it with a fiery passion because it's too different, and we would all be like, I don't know, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, because I remember when they tried to make the Daleks like multicolor and like fun, kind of
Yeah.
like that, like chunky. I don't know. I liked it, but
Yep.
everyone was like, "No, this sucks."
I
So
know.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah,
Power
maybe
Ranger
we
Daleks.
need the Apple Store Cybermen next. Maybe that's
I
that
liked
should
their emojis at the center of their face where they would do like thumbs up or like
Mhm.
exclamation
Mhm.
points, you know?
yeah. And I like that it wasn't like they weren't screens. Like it was like metal shifting around in front of a light. It was interesting. It's kind of a cool design. So anyway, she's like, yeah, I guess I'm getting married. I don't know. Like what other choice do I have? And so she's like, let's fucking go. I guess we got a wedding to go to.
She makes the decision because like it's about to be another battle, and she's like, well, no, if I just go to this wedding, if I just do it, then there won't be more Sasha 55s. Like I won't have to like. So she kind of makes the sacrifice play to because at first Maxie is like, oh, I knew you'd betray us and blah 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 blah, but she's like, no, like I'm doing this to like save you guys. Like, you know, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Yeah, because I'm a good queen, actually. You little bitch.
You little bitch.
He's like, I am a bitch. I am a little bitch.
Oh, no,
Say it
she's
again.
right. That's what I'm about.
Say it again. Call me a little bitch again.
Belinda's like, oh no.
No.
It's like, oh.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
We'll talk about that later. Anyway, so she goes down there, and and I will say I think that like the line reading on the doctor when the thing opens up wider and he sees that AI actually stands for Al. I was like, I feel like he could have like hit that a little funnier because he just says it in like an exposition way where he's just like, it's not AI, it's Al, like that. And it's like you could have been like, I don't know, hey, it doesn't say AI, it says Al, like, you know, just like a little more like what the fuck. I think could have been like a lot funnier, but instead they like went with like just pure exposition, which I was like, I don't know if that was the right choice. It's because it's so stupid that you kind of like don't want them to be taking it as seriously as they're taking it, you know?
Right.
Yeah. And then we meet Alan, who's now like
Alan,
a not Cyberman, but like kind of a Cyberman.
what did we think of his look, of that design?
It reminded me of the look of the lady in Superman 3.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I thought when they showed Belinda the schematic of her being replaced by those little plates of metal. I'm like, oh, it's like the lady in Superman 3.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Borg adjacent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But like at what point does because the Borg are also very Cyberman coded, so like where is
They're
the
not-
line?
Cass, they're not Cybermen coded. They're just ripoffs.
No,
Like they're just
you know
like
what I mean.
we can do that better, and they did. To be
They
fair,
did.
they did.
100%.
What
they
if we
did
made
do the
Cybermen
Cybermen better.
sexy
Yeah.
in true American fashion?
Yeah.
Has there ever been a Cyberman, like the equivalent of a Borg queen, like a Cyberman that was kind of more human, like kind of a human actor?
I guess the closest would be like that one annoying guy in that Age of Steel thing.
Isn't that the guy that's at the end of the 13 two-parter? That one Cyberman dude.
Oh,
Oh,
right. There's that guy
right.
too. Yeah.
13.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
remember
right.
his.
It is that
you
guy.
Know, you know
the
what I'm talking
Frankenstein
about.
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
Frankenstein guy.
Cyberman. Yeah. Right. Well, anyway.
So yeah, we've kind of already. So like Belinda has these kind of flashbacks of like that's and like yeah, that was kind of like the fact that it was like wait, and then it's like after the fact being like, and of course you won't be wearing these clothes because you have to dress like a lady and blah 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 blah.
Mhm.
And then I was like, oh yeah, like none of that was in the cold open. He was pretty much kind of like a Rory Pond kind of dude.
Right.
Mhm.
And like maybe that was by design of like, oh, you think he's this sort of befuddled but harmless dork, but then it's like, oh no, he's actually an incel. But I don't know. I guess it didn't work for me.
No, it didn't really work for me either. Just because, like, I don't know, that doesn't feel like what an incel is to me. Like, it's like they don't even get that far. Like, they're
Right.
Just
Yeah. Well, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's like, I don't know, different like shades of like, like the incel umbrella, I guess. But like, because I think the reveal of that fell flat to me, but like there is like an aspect of like, oh yeah, no, he's harmless, but then actually like he's like controlling in like
Right.
a very specific way,
Oh, no, all of that is
Yeah.
true, but that's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
an
yeah.
incel. That's incel's a
something
very
else.
specific thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
No,
is
I-
just like an abuser. That's an
Yeah.
emotional
Like
abuser.
where I am entitled to
Right.
to you. Yeah.
No,
Right,
I
yeah.
agree. I like the way Cass worded it. Like I just didn't like the reveal. Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
that is a thing where like, oh, you think this is like a harmless guy, but then you like follow him back to his apartment or something, or you read his like the shit that he's doing on Reddit or whatever, and you're like, oh
Mhm.
god. I don't know. It also maybe this would have dated the episode in a different way, but if it had been like that happened after he dated Belinda, is like he started listening to fucking like Andrew Tate or something, and like
Yeah.
and like
Yeah,
that
because they kind of
yeah.
they kind of do like the video game, like maybe like Gamergate kind of
Mhm.
angle with it, and I don't think it works in that respect.
It all just felt very like
Like surface.
like he wanted to do a story about this, but like didn't want to actually like do any research about it at all.
Uh-huh.
You know? And so
Yeah.
he just kind of like wrote it in like the vaguest way possible, based on things that he's heard through things that he's heard and seen on
Right.
the internet. You know,
What
and
are the
that's
straights
it.
up to this week?
Yeah, yeah.
What are the
man,
straight-
straights
but-
have it pretty bad.
But also kind of like I'm a 50-plus-year-old man.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Apparently, I haven't watched Adolescence on Netflix, but apparently
Mhm.
that really dives deep into like the manosphere and
Yep.
Mm,
the
does.
radicalization of young men.
terrifying.
Which, you know,
Yeah,
but about as different as a show of Doctor Who as you can imagine, but still,
Right.
You know,
it's true. It's true. Has that guy ever been on Doctor Who?
Stephen Graham,
Yeah.
Scrum.
Yeah. He has to have been, right?
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah.
He'll always be Scrum from those shitty last two Pirates movies for me. But
That's funny.
I'll look this up.
But yeah, the reveal of it just doesn't really work. And then like he's like begging for death, and he somehow gets turned back into like an egg and sperm, and then swept up by the sweeper robot.
My polish. That was kind
That
of
was so weird.
And they're both just like, oh fuck, oh shit,
Oh,
oh
fuck.
well, whatever.
oh no, he died.
Oh no, he he died. Drat. And I was like, but he wasn't gonna fucking remember being an like an abuser. Like he was, like, I don't know. He became a baby again. He didn't have to be the same person.
Okay, so Google AI, which grain of salt, because this isn't it's not on his IMDb yet. But Google AI claims that he will appear in Interstellar Song Contest.
Oh, interesting. Okay, well, we'll find out.
Well, there you
We'll
go.
find out.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. So anyway,
apparently the Polish bot, behind the scenes, the guy like went into like how they built him. His wheels, he can like move laterally.
Ooh.
Cool.
Like he can move up, down, and side to side, and so they just kind of wanted to feel more alive. So he can do things like he can peek around a corner, and it just kind of added to him being. I would honestly be down if Polish was just like a K9, if he was just like in the rest of the series,
Yeah. All he does is like polish stuff, though. He's like, you know what? I could use you. My whole TARDIS interior is like bright white. You could really go to town in there all the time.
You thrive here, little Paul.
Yeah. He talked about earlier, like the robots took his TARDIS away, and now they brought it back because, like, now that Al is dead, in Inside Polish, they I assume Polish is just gonna like give birth to Alan at some point in the future.
Polish pregnant.
Yeah, I don't know. Polish.
This took a turn. Oh my God! Wait, it's the same. It's the thing from the end of Curse of the Black Spot where the doctor is like looking at the pregnancy thing, but it's like Polish instead of Amy.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh no.
So he's gonna be reborn. He's only gonna be able to say Polish.
Oh my God.
Reborn as a Pokemon robot. So then they get the TARDIS back. Somehow she thinks the fact that the TARDIS being bigger on the inside is somehow more impressive than this insane planet that she's on, which I just was like, okay, like I don't. This doesn't feel honest, guys. She's like, all right, you know what? Take me home. You're kind of an asshole. You like stole my DNA that one time. That sucked. I don't like that. I don't like you. I don't like any of this. I just want to go home and go back to my shift as a nurse on Monday. And he's like, okay. And then they try to go.
Say that again.
The TARDIS keeps bouncing away from May 25th, which is worth noting is the premiere of Wish World.
That's fun.
That is the date of the penultimate episode, aka one would assume part one of the finale.
Mm-hmm.
So we do get, speaking of the DNA scan that the doctor, it was interesting because he's done that before in the show, but this is the first time that the companion was like, I did not give you permission to like scan my DNA. But we do get confirmation that Mundy, her character from Boom, is a distant descendant of Belinda. So we can put that to bed.
Yeah, and so he's like, okay, well, I can't take you home, but we will figure it out. And in the meantime, you can travel with me. Because I do have a time machine, so this shouldn't really be a bit an issue.
I mean, I'm not a side character in your story. I'm my own person, but sure.
Yeah.
Long way round mention.
Yeah.
And then and you get that great thing where he's like, we're stuck in space on March 25th, but like in the space between where we were and Earth. And we're just like stuck here and there's nothing here and like we can't move any further. And she's like, we're in space, and he's like, yeah. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and go. I'm
dealing with something else right now.
And then that's when we get that reveal of like the Eiffel Tower and the
Mhm.
Statue of Liberty and a bunch of other Las Vegas
It's just
sites.
Vegas. That's funny.
I that's all I was thinking. Was
Yeah.
like, I mean, this could just be Vegas. Like, there's
Oh
nothing
no,
in here.
Space Vegas.
It could just be Vegas. We don't know.
See the orb or whatever, the dome.
That would be great. So yeah, that's the episode. Get a tease for Lux next week. Looks like every tease that we've gotten of that one so far.
Mhm.
So looking forward to finally seeing that one.
Alan
next
Cumming.
week. Alan Cumming back in voice only this time.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's Robot Revolution. Nick, you said you wanted to talk about Belinda. Like our kind of like first impressions of her, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, we sound so enthusiastic about it.
No. I'm just
No,
I was
no,
like,
but no,
I
it's
was like wrapping up the show, and then I was
Oh,
like,
no.
oh yeah, he wanted to talk about.
I
that.
don't know. This I will admit that this is maybe unfair of me, and I don't know why I'm feeling this way, but I just kind of found myself rolling my eyes at Belinda's indignation at the end of this, of being like, just I do not want to be a character. So I have my own stuff going on, and I kind of felt like Rey in Last Jedi of like, I've seen your daily routine. You are not busy. Like,
Right. Yeah, that's true. A lot of it also felt like warmed over, like Donna Noble shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was my other issue where I was like, we already had Donna. Like, do you really not have any other characters in your repertoire, my
Mhm.
guy? Like, I don't know. Cass, what did you think?
I like I said earlier, I kind of appreciate the like throwback vibe of like I hope she's kind of like Tegan without like the worst parts of Tegan, you know? Like she's here like kind of reluctantly and then like kind of comes into her own. But I guess that is kind of I don't know. Donna has a different vibe to me because like Donna like goes on the one adventure and then like that's all that she can like think about. Like this is like I had one adventure I want off the ride, but like I can't, you know?
Mhm, mhm.
So we'll see. I like her.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're gonna end up having the same problem that like every season with these new companions because these seasons are so short. There's just not enough time to like get to know these people.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Because I think if I remember correctly, we had the same issues with Ruby Sunday, where we were just like, okay, like but I'm not really getting who she is, you know.
Mhm.
I guess it's interesting because like, yeah, no, you're totally right, Scott. But I think the difference between the text so far, because like because the takeaway is we're like, I barely know this person. She's kind of just reminds me of other companions. Whereas like Ruby, it felt like they were like, you're my best friend, Ruby. Ruby and the Doctor, 100 years of Ruby and the Doctor.
That's true.
We're BFFs for life, and we were like, I'm not really getting those vibes. Whereas this is like, at least they're not trying to. I was like so worried about him being like, I love you forever. You're my best. No, you're my best friend. But like, it looks like they're not even trying to do that, which I do. I can appreciate.
Yeah. I see what you're saying though. But yeah, I think that she has more of a personality than Ruby ever did. Maybe ever did. Unfortunately, she just kind of was like mystery ingenue, Ruby, which is unfortunate, and also like mystery ingenue with the warmest, biggest heart, you know, and that was like that was her character, and they were like, oh, okay, so just we've all heard of Best Boy, but what about Best Girl?
That's true. I like how it's not a mystery. It's not like, who you're so important. It's like, no, there's a problem. We can't, for some reason, May 23rd is not accessible to us right now.
Right.
Why is that? Why? Which is,
right.
You know.
Yeah. So, you know, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I do like having Doctor Who back. I like that it'll really settle in when we're watching it again next week, and I'll be like, oh, okay, yeah,
for
nice. Because there's always like with the premiere, it doesn't quite feel like we're back until like a week later. I have another episode to watch, you know. But yeah, looking forward to next week's. I hope it's good and not annoying, but I will say the little tease of the animated portion that we got in the last trailer was pretty annoying. So
Oh
we'll
wait,
see.
you mean you don't mean Alan Cumming, you mean like
Right.
the fucking like
when they
2000
become animated.
the
Yeah.
2001 E-bombs quality.
Right.
Like
That's like
okay.
vaguely like like a Riverdale like Archie meets Scooby Doo kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing. I don't know. It was, but I didn't like that because she's doing that voice actor thing where they just like shout everything.
Okay, I haven't seen that yet.
Anyway, I should say that voice actor thing where people who don't know how to be voice actors try to be voice actors, and they just start shouting everything. But we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully it's fun.
Sound off on the Discord. We're already hearing some takes and some thoughts. Love that.
Yeah. But it seems like everybody is just kind of like, yeah, I liked that. Like almost a little too trying to convince themselves.
I will say that, like, I don't know, like, it feels different than some of the, like, yeah, I like that, like for 13. Because like I don't know, like I had fun watching it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But I'm just gonna say it. I like Space Babies more. Sorry.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I did. But this does feel like more of a Doctor Who like premiere, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
This blew my mind because I was watching Doctor Who Unleashed. They filmed this the weekend that Star Beast premiered.
Whoa.
Wow.
November 2023. They were filming like her getting kidnapped and like
that's crazy.
Yeah.
They haven't filmed Doctor Who in like so long.
Dang.
Yeah. Cause like that means they would have wrapped in like early 2024. So wow. Yeah, it's been like over a year since they've like filmed any Doctor Who. I don't know. I'm really worried about series 3. I certainly don't think it's going to come out on time. But we'll see.
Has it been renewed?
No.
Not yet.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Not again.
So we'll see. But anyway, that is the episode this week.
It's called the Robot Revolution, Scott.
The Robot Revolution. A dumb title for this, if I do say so myself.
Polish merch by 2026. I want a polish that I can buy and like and like put on my desk.
Yeah, and also works. I just want it to be a Roomba.
Like a Fortnite skin for a Roomba.
Yeah. So we will talk to you guys next week to talk about the wacky cartoon guy that comes out of the movie theater screen.
That's what it's called.
In Miami, Florida, right?
You just
Miami?
like 3 lines. It's Miami, which is crazy.
Yeah. So wild. All right. Bye, everybody.